Guys, hey, good morning to each and every one of you. Wonderful, wonderful people. This is when the DJ said pull up, you gotta go from the top. This is my pull up moment to go from the top. Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to FYI. For your information, I am Dorothy Fernandez. It's Monday, the 17th of October, 2022, and we are off to a good start. And I hope all is well at your end. I hope that you're having a fantastic Monday morning. I hope you have rested fully during the weekend. I hope all of you were not out and about. I know the folks that's in the diaspora may have it a little bit easier than us here in Guyana with the economic hardship and all of those things that we have to endure. But I have to say that you guys just get up and you keep going. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Better days will come. I cannot remember who said that, so I'm not even going to try. But I hope all is going well at your end. I hope the weather is good. It's hot here in Guyana. You know what? When it comes to me and the heat, it just don't go together. But it's hot here in Guyana, and I have to just deal with it. So when you see me just like patting, like you understand what's going on at my end. Let me know what's good at your end. I was just saying a little bit earlier before you could have heard me. I was just giving a shout out to Beatrice and all the wonderful folks that's on YouTube that's wait for us every single morning. You're up and about very early. You make sure that you get your stuff done so that you can have breakfast with us. Well, have coffee with us because that's what I do. I'm having coffee. I see Edward Brooms there is watching, and I see Facebook user also there watching this morning. Is it Shanette Blackman says good morning, Doretta, watching from Brooklyn. Good morning, big shout out to all the folks watching from Brooklyn. Drop your location in the comment section. Let me know where you're joining us from. Let me give a shout out to wherever it you are. So Jennifer Bob is joining us from Orlando. So good morning to you, Jennifer. Hope all is well at your end. I see Wilton Blue says it's raining in Queens. Oh my goodness, that's good to know. Like I like the rain. Like if you guys, you know me by now. You know I like the rain. I don't like the heat. That's how it is. As the Sheila Boy child is up saying tubers, we present every time. Yes, the YouTubers are up and about very early and always ready. And Sheila Boy Child is one of those folks that I see in the comment section even before we press go live. Sheila Boy Child is up and about there having conversations in the comment section. Good morning to you, Isabella Butts. I hope all is well at your end. I see Marlon also. I see Louise Joylyn Thomas is joining us from Brooklyn. Thompson is joining us from Brooklyn, New York this morning. Good morning to you. I see Paulette saying loud and clear. That's good to know. Loud and clear. I'm coming through. I see Margaret Nelson's on with us this morning. Mr. John Jones is checking in from New Jersey. And another, I see someone is saying it's raining in Queens. I love the rain. I love the rain. I'm a little bit envious this morning. It's sunny, hot in Guyana. That's how it is. Guyana, there is the sun and there's Guyana and there's earth. That's how I see it. When I see Tommy Gibbs is joining us from Brooklyn in the house. A lot of folks come through from Brooklyn and Queens and so forth. I see is it Glasgow Village. I see Jewel Ward is joining us from Glasgow Village. Big shout out to all the folks that's joining us from there. Let me know if you're joining us from any one of the remote locations in Guyana. You know how I'm a little bit biased. I'm always happy when those folks get to come through. I'm seeing Yolanda Thomas is saying we there. Guyanese be different. We speak a certain way. Yeah, it is so amazing that when we go out there and we have, no matter what part of the globe you go, when you hear a Guyanese voice, that accent, that dialect, you know how it is broken down. Anywhere you can be blind as ever, you just hear and say, I'm hearing Guyanese around the corner. Some Guyanese is in this store because I'm hearing that language. We there. I'm seeing Lester Williams says good morning. People, good morning to all of you. Who's joining us from Linden this morning? I want to see the folks from Linden. I see Audrey Ward is joining us from the British Virgin Islands. The BVI is in the house this morning with us. New voters list is needed, says Glenford Gordon. So true. That's my position. My position is we shouldn't go to no election without a new list. But I say that is my personal position. That is Jurassic Finance position. So don't go out saying that I represent a body that is saying that. That is my personal position. I see, is it Brenda? Brenda Norton says Brooklyn in the house. I am a Lindener, says Afia Muhammad. So Afia Muhammad is coming through defending Linden. Linden is in the house. Absolutely wonderful to have each and every one of you here with us this morning. I see is it John? I am not getting that surname. Is it the cares, I don't know, says good morning, love your beautiful hairstyle. Well, listen, this hairstyle is wash and brush and don't care about anything else. So I am glad that you like it. I'm glad that you like it because I put absolutely no effort into it. France is in the house this morning. I see some Marcelini. Jordan is joining us all the way from France. So good morning to you. It's lovely to have you with us. And as you know, when I call these different countries, and so to show how much we're spread out, it just gives an idea as to the vastness of our diaspora. We have persons living in areas that you have never thought about. I can assure you of that. So it's absolutely wonderful to have them join us in the morning. I see Donna McDonald's in London in the house. So all the folks joining from London, Ayabo and you folks, I would like to say good afternoon to you. I know it's afternoon on your end, and I have to say that thank you so much for taking the time out to join us every single day. Facebook user saying good morning from Linden. So all the folks that's coming through from Linden, special good morning to each and every one of you. Linden is Linden have a very dynamic set of people. Cher like to say Linden is born. Linden has produced a lot of good people. We love when you guys come through and add your voice to the conversation every single morning. I see Clyde McPherson in the house and Cheryl Bascom Gridden. Cheryl joins us all the way from Barbados. Barbados is in the house with us this morning. It's so nice to have you with us. It's a pleasure to be having these discussions and have the perspectives join. I am seeing is it a Michelle Bulcock is joining us from Jacksonville, North Carolina. Lovely of you to be here. All the North American folks is coming through. It's so lovely. I see Leon Gorbadan. Leon, listen, good morning, Leon. I hope it's all is well at your end. I hope that your family is healthy and good. I hope that you are breathing well this morning. Breathe healthy, loving air in this morning. Hug your family, give them kisses, and so spread some love today, Leon. I hope that you are having a fantastic day, and I wish you good health and strength. And that's from the bottom of my heart. I swear this to you. I see Desiree Emmanuel is saying good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Desiree. I hope all is well at your end. Is it Junie? Junie? you know, folks, these Facebook names. It's saying, Junie is saying it's Brooklyn. It's in the house watching from Brooklyn. Let me just read it as it is. Joining. All right, I'm going to take a minute for this one. I'm going to read it as is. Marlon King says, joining from Jaguar living room. Marlon, you're different. Like, Marlon's different, and I guess Marlon going to sort some things out. Sue's gonna handle arrangements, Marlon. That's all I have to say about that. Sue's gonna handle all the arrangements. So you're gonna be good. I see Seymour George is saying good morning, FYI family. Louisa Wills is saying good morning, FYI family. Also, the PPP is in the house, says Leon Gorbadat. PPP is in the house. We welcome all on board. So it's absolutely great to have you here with us, and all the other folks that is like Leon that comes here to give your unique perspective. I think Leon has been shifting a little bit in his paradigm, and I see him not coming through as strong or rigid as he used to before when it comes to everything that he was saying. So I know Leon, some things is cracking through to you. I hope that I hope that you are getting some bit of this, the wealth that you talk about every single day. It is absolutely important, Leon. If you are defending wealth that you're not getting, I don't know how to help you, Leon. I see Ivan Ramisar is in the house this morning. Glycis Mingoborn. Hey, Glycis, what's going on? I hope all is well at your end. Glycis says good morning to you, Jaretta. Good morning, Glycis. I miss having you. We have to have some event and we bring all FYIers to one forum and just have this one big event. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comment section if you think that's something that we should pursue, to have all the viewership from FYI actually at one event, just having our various views shared and all of those things. I see that Simone Greaves is on with us this morning. So good morning, directing the FYI friends and family. Have a blessed day to all. And you know how we like to do it in the morning. I always say positive energies must be going out to each and every one of you. Be positive, be that light. Be a light in the darkness for some people. Just don't wake up in the morning and go cussing your neighbors. Don't wake up in the morning sucking your teeth. Wake up in the morning with a smile on your face. Have an optimistic attitude. That is just going to direct your day in a good direction. And trust me, and this is not something I just tell you. This is what I practice myself. Wake up in the morning, have a positive attitude, be optimistic about whatever it is that you're going out to. I'm not saying you're not going to face challenges, you're going to face tremendous challenges, but guess what? When those challenges arise, it's easier when you have an optimistic attitude as opposed to being pessimistic. If you go out there thinking that, oh, well, it's going to be a bad day, I can assure you it's going to be a bad day. But if you go out there thinking that, hey, whatever comes my way today, I'm going to be optimistic about it. I'm going to keep a smile on my face. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to look for the one light in the tons of darkness, then you're going to be okay. And that's the way in which we have to. In this economy, we are forced to operate like that. We are forced to live like that. That there's so much darkness, so much doom and gloom all over, but we are forced to look for the one and two little positives amongst all of the negatives. So be those positive people today. I hope I see Lester's on this morning. Just I'm being a little bit distracted by the comment section. Norris Kerwin King. Norris joins us all the way from region number 10. Linden Village there is in the house. Linden Tongue. Did I say village? My goodness. Linden, the tongue of Linden, is in the house. And Norris there being a major person on the ground, major representative, political stalwart. And I'm so happy that you are always making the time out to be here. This means a whole lot. So bring us the perspectives from your end, Norris, and we're going to share that and integrate it into the discussion. And I hope all is well. I see that Beryl Crawford is here with us also, and Stanborn. Stanborn always comes with one major comment. Stanborn says, boom, good morning all. I don't know what is the boom, but I say it as, let me see, I put as much spice into it as I possibly can. I see that Telford Kennedy McCarty is in the house this morning saying, hearing you loud and clear in sunny Antigua. So all the folks is joining us in the Caribbean. I see Antigua is checking in. I see the British Virgin Islands is checking in. I see Barbados is checking in. Let me know where else you're joining us from this morning. Sharon is joining us this morning. Sharon is saying to have a productive day. And I wish you the same. Have a productive day to all of you out there right now. I see Isabel Butter says he has to press his short overnight. I don't know who she's talking about. I'm going to pretend I'm not even going to guess who you're getting on to. There, Trinidad is in the house this morning. Sharon Alfonso Evans. I just asked about the Caribbean people. The Caribbean people start to check in. I'm hope all is well. I see Rosie. Is it Rosie? Rose Jeff is in the house. Says the brightest girl is who you. I don't know what is going on there. Like, oh yes, it's Stanborn. I say Bartica is in the house this morning. Facebook user Bartica's always in the house. Listen, once I am on, Bartica is on. Let me just put it out like that. Bartica is always in the house. Yo, Linden, I have to speak to you guys. I saw you guys had a good Linden regatta there at the Blue Lake, and I have to say that it's good to see. It's good to see that particular activity reach into Linden. Linden and Bartica have so many similarities in the way in which we do things, and I think that that was a good move, and I'm super supportive of what happened there. I see South Rumville Garden is joining us this morning. I sent Koja, and I see St. Kitts and Nevis is in the house this morning. Derek McCalmont. So good morning to you, Derek McCalmont. And I see all of Manhattan is in the house also. Good morning to all of you. I'm trying not to miss any of you, but if I miss you, don't feel bad. Don't feel no way. I see Joel Bentic is joining us from the Bronx. So the Bronx have a society that is growing. I have to say that over the last 2 months or so, I saw like 4 different persons coming from the Bronx, which is good. So it seems like the message is going around that, hey, you have to come on and join the morning program. Once you are there, tell a friend, add a friend, share the stream. And that's what we're going to be doing right about now. Share the stream. Make sure that all is well. Share the stream, guys. Touch the emoji button, push the emoji button, share the stream, do all of those good stuff. I see Mr. John Jones is saying Guyana. He forgot that Guyana is getting off blackouts. Yes. So yesterday there was accumulation of darkness, cascading, shutdown. However it is that they put it over, PPP just seems to be, there seems to be a government that cannot function without just giving you total blackout. power failures. That's what they do. There is a signature move on the part of the PvP. It's always something with them when it comes to power. They just don't get it right. Prior to 2015, they didn't get it right. And I did know that there are comments coming out from some of their sitting ministers. One in particular that I just choose not to call his name. That was just basically trying to say that. After 2 years of the PvP being in office, that this man had the testicular fortitude, or lack thereof, to actually say that is the reason why we're getting blackout today is because of UAP and UFC. These are the people that we have to deal with on a daily basis. And if you would recognize from 2015 to 2020, when it comes to power outages, we left the country in a state that persons were actually beginning to forget what is blackouts altogether. We came back in. What they did, and I just want to give that reminder actually, what they did was go right back to the administrators that they had prior to 2015, and they brought them back. So what's going to happen if persons managed bad prior to 2015? They didn't have a major check, they didn't have this aha moment or anything like that. They just came back now to just do the bad management that they had before. So it's bad management, it's nothing else. When you're seeing all of those blackouts, it's nothing but bad management. It's poorly the GPL needs a complete overhaul, let me tell you. The PvP cannot put persons there that failed us before and expect them to be doing positive things right now. I don't know how else to say it, $1 billion bridge repair, says Don Sullivan. And I do know the report was handed over, and I think the details of that report, and actually the report should be made public. It should be posted on a website or something so the persons could go access the information. That's all that encompasses good governance and transparency and all the things that people love to say but never like to act upon.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning.
As Sherrod is in the background, ready to come through, ready to have this conversation with each and every one of you. Gwyneth is laughing right about now. Yeah, it's so true. I see on Facebook you were saying, thank God for the FYI Vision and the David Patterson work. Bartica is in another country, it would appear. We have good power supply. And this is something that I have to say when it comes to Bartica and the power supply there in Bartica. Kamal Prasad, which is the current vice chairman of Bartica, she would have been on the protest line herself. I have to say that. She would have been on the protest line herself when it comes to the bad power that we were getting, bad electricity during the period of prior to 2015. The coalition went in office, and we can have the very lengthy discussion on this one. The coalition went in office, and what happened was that when the coalition went in office, a solar farm was put there, brand new power plants was put there. They actually moved that whole madness that was going on in Bartica to a very, very modern system. That's what I can say. I saw the people actually shared. I saw the people actually went out and talking about solar farms, and so it's something that they conceptualized on their own. They went back into office and met solar farms in this country. Something that they probably
good for them.
And these things were done. The persons need to acknowledge that these things were done when we did not have oil money. Without the oil money, these things were done. And people have to have this wake up. Oh my goodness, that when we didn't have oil money, the limited resources that were there were actually directed to better the lives of people.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to have.
They gotta wake up indeed, as you said, Rita.
Wake up.
Morning, everybody.
Welcome back, Sherrod, says Isabella Butters.
Oh,
you went somewhere, Sherrod.
Was I missed? That's it. That's your real issue.
Isabella's different.
Was I missed? That's the real crux of the matter. Guys, good to have you wherever you're joining us from. All of you beautiful, wonderful folks. It's been quite a bit.
My Ayaba comes through with the correct, Ayaba does sum it up. PPP must go. Ayaba does not have time with Ayaba does not have time with all the nitty-gritty about it. Ayaba says PPP must go. It's as simple as that. PPP must go. Right?
Full stop.
Yep.
Full stop. Morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you folks doing? Too much.
I have to do the intro.
How are you guys doing? Good to see you folks. Good to see you. Judy, how are you doing? Another week.
I know how to wait.
Base and
What
power.
do we gotta do? I remember
Base and
to
power.
pound my chest this time. I hope I didn't hurt your ear. So,
With that thought
the
there.
mic is like
Yeah,
right
lots
here.
happening, folks, and we want to get right to it.
Looking sharp, Sherrod, you see? Harmon Prasad.
Yeah, yeah,
People
yeah.
coming through for you, man.
Quite a few things happening in the morning papers, and why don't we start there, Jerita? First and foremost, we got, a body of a man was found at Saybrook Market,
Yes,
living and dying in Guyana,
but they
folks.
said it's about that body was found by a health worker. Very a very
Yep,
sad
yep, yep.
situation
Living
there.
and dying in Guyana. Body of man found by Saybrook Market by a health worker. He said he was passing by,
Yeah,
saw this man lying on a bench, thought he was just sleeping, but then he saw that he was moving. His stomach wasn't going up and down.
yeah,
Quite vigilant health worker.
yeah.
You know,
Because a lot of
respect and
people
balance to
just
him.
pass, a lot
Yeah,
of people just pass, and
yeah,
I'm sure a lot of persons were just passing by.
yep. The good Samaritan.
Yeah,
The good Samaritan. Respect and
just
balance
a
to him.
little too late.
But this is living and dying in Guyana on a
Yeah,
bench
yeah.
in the city,
Mm.
and he's still unidentified, and we're following that.
Yeah, it's extremely sad, and when you say it like that, Charity, it just gives the gravity of the
Yeah,
situation,
yeah,
more weight because you live and you
yeah.
die. You don't know what the scope of his life was like.
Correct, correct. These are the things folks aren't telling you. These are the things
Mm,
people aren't raving and raging about. It's just how flippant life is,
yeah.
and how life comes and goes here. Life is cheap in this country,
Mm.
honestly. And another issue we're following, and them boys aren't following as well. Totally focus and talk about mega projects. If you're talking about the billions thing, I tell with you.
Yeah.
You can attract their attention, but um,
If you can play those games with them, if you're not on par to actually be, knocking glass at
yeah,
that level,
yeah. Don't come wrong them,
don't. They
right?
don't have time for you.
Yep. Another issue we're following is, bandits invade a yard in Ogle. The folks were just
Yes.
like a normal family having a normal weekend, and then three men just stormed into the yard. Could you imagine that? You will think like it's late night time if you're sleeping and so on.
Mm.
1, 2 o'clock, you got to be on the lookout. You know,
They probably secure the property at night.
an ordinary afternoon, and the grills can't save you. The high walls, the fence, and so on. It's an ordinary afternoon. People are climbing in the yard and so on. And three men stormed into the yard, robbing of the cell phone, money, and a whole host of other things.
Yeah.
It's just another day,
But and
right?
I always caution young people when it comes to crime, and so you must never be in a state that's the direction that you choose for your life. And I said this just last week actually. I said when whatever decision that you're making on the path where you choose it, you have to choose if that action is more valuable than your freedom and your life.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
that's what you go to risk
Yeah,
when you're doing those things. You
yeah.
risking your freedom and you're risking your life. So
That's the opportunity cost the economist is telling us.
yeah.
That's the opportunity cost, and you
Yeah.
got you got to count the cost.
I see Yolanda is
You got to
saying
count the cost of that.
Joretta they started doing work on the synthetic track in Linden again, and I think they are the
Rightfully
most
so, and that's what we talked about. That's when Ali came in, and thanks to the advocacy of German,
Figuera.
Figuera, and the regional chairman there, and Adams, and all the whole team on the ground there. You got to continue to advocate. It is stupid. It is quite stupid
But I
for a government to come and say, "Oh, we have to finish your projects up." That is continuity of government. It'll be nice if at the end of every 5 years, all of the projects are finished, signed, sealed, and delivered, and you're just waiting for the election to conclude to start new projects. But that's not the way life hands things to us. And there are actually projects that are ongoing when a new government takes office.
you know what would be nice? Listen, I don't know
For
what
this government
books
to be
and
less corrupt.
I don't know if how Londoners would actually address it or so, but I'm not a London. I'm just Guyanese, and my representation is for everyone. I found it disrespectful, ridiculous. I found it on the lowest of low for the comments that came from the helm of the administration, particularly when he spoke about what you're talking about. We're gonna get that done. We're gonna get that
Yeah, y'all
done.
didn't do it. Y'all didn't do it. Y'all do it in 5 years.
Y'all didn't do it in 5 years. We're gonna get it done. I listen. I want to see with regards to that. With regards to that particular scenario there. Sherrod started off by saying, when it comes to governance, good governance altogether, you need continuity altogether. So one of the things that we must address is the
Mhm.
fact that you don't have the gall. You should not have the gall. You don't have the right. You don't have no leeway to even make a statement like that when your government was in office for 23 years
Yeah.
and didn't do nothing
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Linden.
Yeah.
Your government was
Yeah.
in power for 23 years, and the only thing that Linden got was loss of lives. The only thing that Linden got was fear.
Yeah. Loss of
Right?
lives and
How
lots of lies. And so they should be running to Linen every week, every day, as a matter of fact.
now how you have
No,
the gall to even make a comment like
but
that?
the sense of it, politics aside, in the course of governance, there have to be continuity of governance. We're the only country like this where when a new government comes in, 3/4 of the project, especially under the PPP,
But it's shameful, Sherrod.
our 3/4 of the projects are dismantled. It's stupid and foolish.
It is
So to say, oh,
shameful.
we have to finish off the project now, it's like,
It is
what else you want to do?
shameful. Let me like I don't know how else
How
to
many
put
projects
it.
did we come in and finish off in the PPP?
All of them, they didn't finish anything. They were dragging their foot on every single thing. We started things. They came in and cut ribbons, recommissioned things we
Yeah.
commissioned before, and all
Yeah.
of those nonsense.
Yeah.
They're cutting ribbons for a road going from Mandel to Eccles that they haven't even completed as yet. Who cuts the ribbon and then do?
Knew them
you
our
know?
Harbor Bridge,
But
the
let's
project
get
that
back
we
to.
started, but they didn't say they have to finish it. They
But-
buy it over as a mega project.
But we can
You
go
know.
back to Linden again. If we go back to Linden, I mean, this is a segue, so just allow me to vent a little bit. We can go back to Linden and say that the PPP took office in 2020. 2020, that's when they took office. They had budget in 2020, budget in 2021, budget in 2022. Now they're going back.
Them boys
Oh,
forget.
we come
Them
to
boys
fix it.
forget that.
There are things in Linden right about now, grants that they stood up in the National Assembly and say that, oh, we are going to be giving X millions of dollars.
They forget
to
all
this
them
and that.
things.
On to today, the board has not been put in place so that money could actually be benefited by the Lindeners.
What I'd like to see
Right?
them do is,
I
in
know.
terms of bandits invading people's yards, broad daylight or late night time, is actually they'll promise a crime reduction plan, a crime prevention plan. I'd be happy to see that being effectuated.
The Linden
It'd be nice to see
Enterprise Network, was it 30 or $50 million? I haven't checked back
Yeah.
the budget.
A lot of money.
They stood in the National Assembly and said, we are allocating this. That
Yeah.
The money comes directly on in the Ministry of Finance. We're allocating this to be utilized by the Linden Enterprise Network. And then what? I asked when the question period, I asked in the National Assembly, I asked Ashley Singh, I said, when are you going to be putting the board in place? Oh, it's going to be done soon. The board is not in places yet. And because of that, the money can't go through. We have to call these things out so nobody can go to Linden and say, oh, we're doing things to Linden. You are continuing something now when you should have continued it since 2020. You are continuing something now. We're in 2022. We're almost at the end of 2022. There's none to be proud of.
That worked not so well.
There's none to be
Folks,
proud of.
wherever you're joining-
Let's continue.
Folks, wherever you're joining us from, share the live and smash that emoji button for us. Great to have all of you folks with us. Ingrid King and Renald Worrell, Eva Madhu, and all the other folks. Trust you guys have had an awesome weekend. The other issue we're looking at.
All that, Sherrod, whilst they're dismantling the bodies and putting in IMCs, I have to add that one.
Yeah.
Let me just sip
Yeah.
some tea.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go on.
Well, all that has been done. We saw over the weekend, Zulfikar Mustafa says that Guyana is positioned to be the breadbasket of the region. And nobody doubts this because this is where we were at. This is where we were at thanks to Forbes Burnham and
Yep.
Food, Clothes, and House the Nation policy of the 1970s and having enough surplus to be able to be the breadbasket of the Caribbean. And really and truly, I want to say thanks to all of those leaders we've had in the past, except Mr. Jack Dew. He was the exception to the rule. Chetty didn't have a long enough time to really and truly flesh out the plan that he had, but he did some good things and had a tremendous character. And they've learned nothing from him. Desmond Hoyt, we've had, and all the other folks who helmed this nation, except Mr. Jack Dew. He's the exception to the rule. Just like a foolishness. And while this can be, it is challenging for us to see how this is possible under these guys when you've had this near position currently of the non-oil sectors failing so badly. And if we rationing sugar locally, it's kind of hard for us to see how you're going to be, providing sugar for instance, as a
Sugar,
commodity
sugar
for the rest
has
of the
been
Caribbean,
the quality of
right?
sugar that we're consuming locally. That's something else we have to talk about. Quality of sugar that we're consuming locally seems to be on the decline.
Yeah, even the packet
That,
sugar,
yeah.
the packet sugar come in a whole set of obstacles and impediments. I don't know if that's protein or these grums. You said grums. I don't know if grums is an actual word or it's a Chinese thing, but the grums when you sweeten that drink or your tea, you're seeing a whole set of stuff in the sugar.
I actually had, this is serious because actually just made tea. Like my daughter's like, Mom, can you make some tea for me? I just want to make some tea. And then I literally had to get like a very
A
like
strain,
a
no,
strain and
a strain.
strain in
You gotta get a
tea
seed. You
because of
gotta
all
to
the
find out what it is.
everything,
It's a
everything. I
protein.
felt like,
The extras. That's what you're paying for. The extras you're paying for. So it's laughable because what we've been seeing here, it's a real decline, and this is based on the half year report. And note that you're more
yes.
versed in this. We see contraction in almost all of the industries. This is what they aren't talking about, right? Sugar's gone down, rice and fishing and manufacturing has gone down, gold production has also gone down. So when they're talking about, this is Burnham all over again, feed, clothe, and house the nation and breadbasket of the region. They wish they could do that,
And that's not a true. This well,
right?
I
This
don't
is
want to
probably
say.
even worse now.
I don't even want to say that that is not a true figure for gold, but
Yeah.
it is the figure that 1.5 there. It doesn't give a true picture
Yeah,
of what is going on,
yeah.
particularly when it comes to small and medium scale miners in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we did learn after all of that is that the only reason that number is only negative by 1.5% is because the one large mining company seem to be the
Yeah.
one that's thriving, whilst the small and medium scale miners are actually suffering tremendously under this new stewardship of the PP administration. And that's a fact. I want to know, like, how is it Leon and all of the others, how do you defend these things? You look at the numbers and then you come and you say what, like, how do you defend it? I don't get it.
Yeah, I just want to leave that up for a second because I want people to understand when these folks come to your communities and so on, you have to challenge them on this. Oh, you're talking about this mega project here, but what if I'm to sugar that you promised to make great again? Aren't you guys the experts in rice and so forth?
Well, you have to be.
Aren't you folks the experts?
You have to be, as a citizen of Guyana, you have to be completely. You have to lie to yourself, if I can put it like that. You have to lie to yourself if you actually believe that if you actually believe that the PPP was better with sugar, or if you actually believe that the PPP was better with rice. I'm speaking about the stewardship of those two industries altogether, because it's absolute chaos, the rice industry. And I have to keep reminding people that I can literally go and quote from the various reports that the rice industry is actually one of those industries that did the best ever in the history of rice production in Guyana. Right? But so it's one thing for you to be like soaking in and digesting all the propaganda of the PP administration to say, oh, the APNU actually don't know how to manage it. But yet there is this blatant fact that the APNU had the best production ever when it comes to rice.
Folks, look at these figures, soak them in, because you have to challenge them on these issues. When they come to the communities and they're talking foolishness, challenge them on it.
But these are macro issues. And I have to say that sometimes I find it a little bit unsettling that we have persons going out there that a lot of these things are not things that they understand fully, and that's why we do these programs, because we're doing our part to make sure that persons understand fully. But I think that it's absolutely necessary. I think it's absolutely necessary for people to actually question these things. And I do note, I think the PUP meetings that they're structuring right about now, it is taking a different format, because I see them trying to answer less question and them trying to entertain less questioning from people, and it's more of going preaching down to people. It's absolutely crazy. I see Paul Prasad is back with us. Dr. Paul Prasad. No, well, I don't think this is Dr. Paul Prasad. I don't know. I have to check on him. Probably changed his DP or something. Well, welcome to the program once again. I hope all is well at your end. I see, is it Magalia? Did I get that right? I says hello, Guyanese family. I don't think Magalia Letlow. I hope that I got that name right, and it's so good to have you with us. I don't think I ever called this name before, so I have to say welcome, welcome, welcome to the program. But those are the numbers. Keep looking at it. Sugar contracted by 55.9%.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah, yeah,
excuse for those
yeah.
numbers. Absolutely no excuse
And
for
these
those
guys are
numbers.
the experts. You can't teach them anything in this sector.
Right? But they went out there and they wanted to get votes, and they got votes at the expense of the truth.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what they did. They said, "Oh, we're gonna make this great again," and they blatantly lied to people. And that's why I said we have to keep telling people, we have to keep reminding you of this lie when it comes to sugar. They went out there, and that's another number that you have to add, Sharon. They went in there and they said they're going to give 50,000 jobs. They came after and said that was Photoshop. The people of this country saw these posters themselves. These people have the gall to
The
say
nerve, the
that
temerity.
it was Photoshop. But guess what? When they said they promised that, what's actually happened now, and what's actually happening now, the reports that are coming out, actually, when it comes to employment, that's on the decline. We looked at specific numbers that came out of the Bank of Guyana report, for example, the half year report from the Bank of Guyana that specifically said that when it comes to employment, particularly in the public sector, central government declined tremendously. I think it was 17.7%
Yep,
decline of
yep,
that particular. And you made a promise to people
yep,
that you were going to provide more jobs, and instead
yep.
of doing that, it's on the reverse. You're actually providing less jobs. These are the facts. These are what the numbers say. We can't argue with the figures, and that's why I like to go in that direction of data. Yeah,
Unfortunately, the numbers don't lie.
the
And
numbers
these
don't
are
lie.
their numbers, mind you. These are their numbers. And while that was being done, we're cognizant that yesterday was World Food Day. And that's why they came out saying, "Oh, we can be the breadbasket." You see, it's easy to talk,
Yeah.
but to put these strong policies in place that helps in this direction, that's
Rowley
going to
said
be
it
lacking. Yep.
at our Agri Expo right here in Guyana. Keith Rowley was here, and he said that persons going, we can have all of those nice talks and all of that, but when it comes to the real policy measure to be put in place to actually give way
Mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm.
those development,
Yeah.
that's a different discussion that you have to have, and that's the discussion that we're not getting. And he particularly spoke to when it comes to transportation and having that network set up that we had prior, so that we can have ease of movement of goods between the Caribbean, and
Yeah.
that's something that, again, I say that we haven't gotten to that. We can't even fix our transportation issues here. We got people stuck on the West Coast and in Georgia. How are we going to fix transportation issues with the Caribbean?
Those are the real challenges.
Uh,
And folks, as we discuss that, we wish you guys a great week because we have a big week ahead. The CCJ this week is going to be handing down its decision in that petition 99 case, or whether or not the Chief Justice acted correctly when she threw out the
I
petition
think we're frozen.
on the
Someone said we're
basis.
frozen.
Um, let me see. Yeah,
Mr. John Jones says you're frozen. I'm paying attention to that comment there. Anyone else seeing us frozen? Are we clear on some end? I hope we're clear on some other end. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what went
Just
on there.
yeah.
It's the jumbie bird.
We're
I
gonna.
don't know how else to say that. I think it's the bird, people. It's the bird. I don't know how else to
It's the
say that.
bird. It's the
Jordan
bird.
shared frozen. All right, good. We're fixing that. Let me know if you're hearing us clearly in the comment section. I see Warren Figure. Let me know if you're hearing us as we seek to change that frozen screen there for you
Yeah.
guys. Yep.
Don't know what's
Are you
happening.
hearing us clearly? If
Let
you
us know
can
if you're hearing
hear
us
us
clearly.
clearly, we can have this conversation as we are having a discussion. Let me know if you're hearing us clearly so that we can have the conversation. Winston Angle is on this morning, and I hope all is well at your end. Frozen, frozen. I'm seeing frozen, hearing you clearly. Good. That's what I want to know. Roll. Excellent. So as we remedy that situation
Yeah.
there with the frozen screen, I'll continue to have this bit of conversation on your end. I don't know why we're frozen.
We're gonna take a look at that and come right back, guys.
I think somebody sent in some people to freeze us, right? I don't know. That's never happened before.
We're gonna take a look at that and come right back.
That's never happened before. Like, how does that happen? Nevertheless, so as you're seeing, Shart still have up the graphic there, on what is going on in the sectors, and it's something that we intend to be bringing back to you. 1 second, guys. I'm hoping that this is better.
We're
Is
hoping. We're
this
hoping it's better.
better? Is this better?
We're gonna see in a second. It's all the challenges of doing live programs. We're gonna see if you guys can hear. We know you're hearing us loud and clear, but if you're seeing us, let us know.
I see Ganesh is petitioning in the comment section. Ganesh said, I want to see Jared Vanessa Finance now. You know, Ganesh wrong and strong, you know. Ganesh comes through wrong and strong. Ganesh, you different. No, but you know, we were having a discussion, and I wanted to just I wanted to like dive into it a whole lot more when it comes to the state of the economy, because this is something that we need to continue to have the discussion around. We cannot forget about it because it's getting worse every single day. So we're gonna continue. We're gonna
Yeah.
continue there. And Ganesh, we hear you loud and clear. What we want to see, Ganesh different. Yes, Ganesh is very very different, guy. Um, but like I'm saying, we started this conversation, and we just pushed off of the two first headlines that we had for the morning when we're
We'll be
looking
back
at
in a second, Rita.
that.
Folks, we're gonna be back in a second.
All right, folks, we're gonna be back. Just give us a second. We're almost there. I hope this is better. I'm gonna bring back up the comment section. I'm gonna bring up the comment section to get the feedback, to let me know if you're seeing us properly now, if you're seeing me, because there's not the us. The island, Mr. Chisel, Chipper 68 is here with us this morning. Yes, see you blinking, Drake. Excellent, good. That's the main thing. Once you can see me, I'm good. So once you can see me, I'm good. Once you can see me, I'm good. And we are going to be making sure that all is well,
It's
as you
all the
said.
trials and travails
I
of
don't know
doing
what's up
live
there.
streams.
I don't know what's
It's
up
all the
there.
we love to do live streams, but it comes with it comes with the territory, almost the trials and travails
Yeah.
of doing live streams.
The thing is about the live stream is that's the only way we can interact with you guys as we do, and that is the signature of our program. Actually,
We love it, love it,
to
love it,
actually
love it,
get
love it.
to have this conversation with you guys. This is just the way in which we want to do it. So we have to continue. I
Yep.
see everybody else trying to have a shout out, and so I see Anil Nandala shouting out some
Good for him.
people in the comment
Before
section.
we were rudely interrupted, we were talking about Ghana becoming the breadbasket of the Caribbean, and we moved on from there to talk about this important case being handed down on Wednesday from the CCJ. We want folks to look out for that. And moving on from there, folks, you know, there was a protest just last week. We missed this one in front of the EPA, in which citizens are just fed up and tired, and they're tired of the EPA being used as a rubber stamp. You know, very, very ineffectual head of the EPA right now in something. Kemraj is the fella's name, is he?
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
don't pay.
Very, very
Don't pay
ineffectual
attention to him at all.
EPA body there. And folks just last week were vehemently protesting some of the fact that some of what is being approved by the EPA currently is reprehensible. Some of what is being approved is reprehensible. You know, we see more power to the people.
You know,
Power to
the
the
EPA,
people.
and I'm going to use the word seem. The EPA seems to be operating right now as though they're just that they're just taking instructions as to how to what to do. They're taking instructions from the helm that this is what they're going to do, or this is what they're not going to do, and they're defending the indefendable. You know, and this is an issue. And I have to say at this point, and just before we move on, Sharon, that Dr. Vincent Adams was a stalwart when it comes to the head of the EPA. They will never be able to get someone that can do half as much as he was bringing to that body, that agency. And we are so proud of him. But I think there's a lot of person, because he was a man that you have to do it the straight and narrow. You have to bring it the right way and all of those things. And people don't like that. People generally don't like that. So they put someone else there. It seems as though that the person that they put there can be directed more so, and instead of working in the best interests of the actual organization, because you have to go out there, make sure that you keep things in
Yep.
online in stream,
Yep.
hold people
Yep.
accountable. Who has been held accountable thus far?
Yep.
And,
No
and,
one.
and I think that's where you test it, when we talk about a lot of things with audit, when we talk about performance audit, value for money, is this agency actually doing what it's supposed to do? Is this agency actually performing the way it's supposed to? But how many persons have they actually pulled up, since they have taken over this new leadership? How many persons have been pulled up and said, hey, well, you're doing something wrong, you're doing something wrong? Vincent Adams wasn't liked because he pulled everybody up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's part of the challenge we were
Yep.
having now, is that everybody is a free for all. But while that's being said, folks, a number of things happening internationally, a number of things brewing, folks, that we're going to run the board for you here. In Haiti, we've been talking a lot about what's happening in Haiti. CARICOM is nowhere to be seen. This is our sister CARICOM country, Haiti. But the US and Canada have given them overnight some armored vehicles, help them to be able to contend with some of the gangs that are causing real mayhem. And we've been talking about a couple in particular who have seized the fuel depot and causing a lot of shortages. Prices are skyrocketing. There were fuel is concerned and some other things. And the US is making, and US and Canada making these interventions. Last week we told you that the head of the United Nations had asked for some interventions from US and Canada, and they instituted some visa restrictions, and now they're giving them some aid in this manner. Where's CARICOM? That's a good question. Where CARICOM there?
What is CARICOM doing?
What is a CARICOM? That could be a good question people ask.
What are they doing?
Yep, yep. What are they doing?
I
And
always
that's
try not to comment on it because I think my personal views on this matter just overshadows my professional view.
yep. And that's one of the things we're tracking internationally, folks. The other thing that we're looking at is this issue in Colombia, a country who has very good road safety
Yes, you spoke about it.
mechanisms and so on. This horrific crash over the weekend, 14 injured, 20 dead. This bus toppled down a hillside, and they're grappling with this now in this new week here. 20 dead, 14 injured. I know they're going to be looking at some of those systems there and seeing what really went wrong here. And part of what this report is telling us is that it may have been a mechanical failure on the part of the bus. So watching
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and this is a good reminder that this is a good reminder to folks that when you're driving and all of those things, you may believe that you're good at this. You may trust yourself, trust your skill
Yeah,
level, and
yeah,
all of those
yeah,
things. But you have
yeah.
to remember
Yeah.
that you're operating a machine, and there's so many things that could go wrong with
Yeah.
that machine that you can't even think about. So with that in mind, you have to make sure that you're
Correct.
going at a rate and
Correct.
you're operating at a level at which you can take control at a split second.
Yeah.
Like that. So
Yeah.
make sure
Yeah.
that just be careful, please.
20 there. That's a lot of that's a lot of folks there. And our thoughts and prayers, of course, go out to our Colombian brothers and sisters as you grapple with that. As we think regionally, folks, some of the things that are brewing in the region, folks, it seems to get worse as the days go by. This is one of the things we're looking at. A young man, look at him there, full of life, shot overnight on a playfield. On a playfield, Rita, in Trinidad, a van pulled up, a door open. There were some folks playing football on that field, and people began firing shots indiscriminately. And when that was done, this young man was dead. Very, very sad. Very, very sad there. And the authorities there are trying to grapple with that. And the fact that he was just 9 years old. 9 years old. The authorities recovered 19 spent shells and from two guns on that play field where those folks were playing basketball. They said the young people using this recreational ground ran for safety. But this young man wasn't so fortunate. People just pulled up with a van and just begun firing indiscriminately.
I did follow a lot of the comments that did not come through through the media, the official media channels, and persons that reside in Trinidad and how they are feeling about this particular case.
Yeah.
And a lot of the comments that I've been reading, persons are literally sick and tired of gang affiliated violence, gang violence.
That's one of the stuff they're really grappling with it.
And that's basically what what persons are saying, like the gang violence there, and it's out of control. I know it goes back to the whole conversation about the various music associated and the level at which young people are fixing themselves and they're thinking towards certain things. We have a long way to go. We have to find balance, and we need to not fail the future generation.
Mhm.
And I keep saying that we need to not fail the future generation. We need to understand their perspective, and we need to have them understand why we advise the way in which we advise, because it's such a delicate balance that you
Very
have
much
to find.
so.
But the
Very much
gang
so.
violence in Trinidad, it's out of control, and I didn't know all of those persons that are making those comments, and I've been following on TikTok and on Twitter and all of those different platforms of persons are really. That's a very hurtful situation to see a young life being snatched away for something that could have been avoided.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah, yeah, we're going to continue to track that, folks.
Yeah.
Also in Trinidad, Judy, you were talking about life of crime, and there's certain there's a natural flow of events that come from
Yeah.
that, and you cannot detach the two from each other. This person here, the two persons were parked in an area in Trinidad, having a conversation, and no sooner were they, gaffing and talking, somebody opened the back door of the car and got inside with a gun. What they thought was a gun actually turned out to be a fake gun. Well, one of the passengers, one of the persons occupying this car, had a real gun and discharged 4 shots, killing the suspect. Right? Killing the
Actions has
suspect.
consequences.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I thought about when we were, even before we were frozen and we got thrown off a little bit. One of the things that I was thinking about is, like, if you choose to go into somebody's yard, to rob them, as what happened here,
Yeah.
just it's yesterday, I believe. But if you choose to do that, then you choose to give that family, the residents there, the
Yeah.
freedom to defend themselves.
Yeah.
And if they had guns and they shot you dead on the spot, how is that a life of fulfillment? What's a couple dollars worth it? What was it? Nothing should be greater than when it comes to your character and preserving your life. How is it that other things outweigh that? Like, I don't get that. I don't get it. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
crazy.
But this was real gun versus toy gun, and clearly
And a real
here,
gun one.
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
that's how it is. And that was actually people defending themselves. That's what it
yeah.
was.
These two persons here were in an area they were in South Park, San Fernando, in Trinidad, right? When this man opened the door and got in the car,
But
right?
it goes to, Sharon, it goes
They were in a
to,
parking lot in South Park, San Fernando, sitting chatting up in a
you know,
parking lot.
one of the things that persons, particularly for folks living in Trinidad, I mean, this is a regional matter. We have to put some weight on it. If you are living in a country in which you see violence, particularly gang affiliated violence, and so going out of control,
Yep.
as a citizen, you're going to be inclined to protect yourself.
Yep.
So at no point in time you can go playing those sort of games with a fake gun. You're going to go stick somebody up with a fake gun. When persons are already highly aware of the crime situation, they're going to be in a position to way ahead of you to defend themselves, equip themselves to do exactly what happened there. It's sad.
And while that's happening, folks, some stuff brewing right at home. Right at
590
home, some stuff brewing right there, folks. Everything, things always brewing here.
in the
Things
590.
always brewing here. Never a dull moment in the 592. Never ever a dull moment in the 592. And some of the stuff we're tracking, folks. First up, there's again, these big projects, and these guys no, when it comes to big projects, they're unable. So they've invited proposals for this gas refinery at Crab Island, Region 6. It's interesting to see where the big projects are being directed to. They're talking about, we don't have an emerging apartheid state, but it's very interesting to see where these projects are going. Very interesting. But they're inviting designs. We hear about no studies or anything like that. One day they wake up and say, "Oh, we can have an oil refinery." Next day, Scrap Island.
I think it was one
And-
of their new. I think it's one of the PUB's new people.
Hold on, the one start building by the first half of 2023.
I think it's one of the, I think it's one of
I
their, I
like
think
I
it's
like
one
these
of
guys.
their new
Never dull moment.
voices. You know, I have to just say this.
That's it.
Like one of their new voices. I don't want to say it's Joel, but I believe it was. But let me just not attribute the comments to
Joel,
him.
Joel,
But I know, I know it was. No, I'm thinking if it was,
new
I
voices.
think it was
I know
Joel
Joel.
Bagwindin. I'm not sure,
Oh,
but that's why I'm saying I'm not sure if it's him. But I do know that he's been making a lot of statements with regards to how they are dealing with things in the economy. Nevertheless, but I did remember a statement coming out from somewhere, someone that was actually saying that like it's a no-brainer around that concept or around that idea that is a no-brainer. You don't need studies to actually say that this is going to be feasible. You know, and you know those things are particularly it's insane. You know, it's insane. And anyone that went to a university or anything like that cannot attribute comments like that to any one
yeah,
of those projects. When you're
yeah,
dealing with governance, when you're dealing with government and taxpayers' dollars, when you're dealing with the resources of our country, you don't make a statement like that. You just don't go out there and blindly defend something when you have to bring yourself to making a statement. You
yeah.
have to have these studies. These things are
Correct is right.
absolutely
Correct is right.
necessary. You can't decide something is feasible unless a feasibility study is done and said these are the dynamics to this project. You know, these are the plus and minuses, and this is
Correct.
how
Correct.
we advise. You know, you have something to actually
Yeah.
look upon
Yep.
for direction as to how you move forward. But my final comment on that is when I see the people asking for inviting proposals and so forth for these things, you know, I just like, these boys don't got somebody.
Invite.
Because I have been conditioned to the way in which they operate, it's impossible for me not to believe that they
Yeah.
already have this thing locked down and they are just coming forward with some nonsense
Locked,
right about
locked
now
and
to say
loaded.
that they have a process unfolding, you know. But that's just how I'm thinking. So, like I
Yeah.
said, like,
To make it look nice. And
I
while
may be
that's being
wrong. I
done,
may be wrong.
they were in Region 6. And while they were talking about the that project going there, also some other projects are being rolled, including what was announced earlier on this stadium for Palmyra. Again, I saw lots of commentators, political and otherwise, economic commentators, who were saying, you know, there's no rationale why you're putting a stadium at Palmyra. And there was also, I think, an international airport identified. It's like you just go and look for space and say, hey, you know, take the CHS, take Stadium AHS in Region 6. There's no rationale, no justification for this. Right? You're asking the people, you telling them we bring a stadium, we bring an airport here.
The rationale and justification is if I can give it to you, Sharon, if you would allow me to give you the justification for this project. We told you all we can do sugar. We can do sugar. We got to sell y'all another dream.
Yeah.
And so we can bring something else and put it there. Or whether or not it's going to
Yeah.
benefit you is not the point. But we're putting it right here so that you can see it, so that you can know that, oh, yes, we're doing sugar, but it's going to be a good
We're doing
distraction.
something.
So that it's going to be a good
We're doing
distraction for
something.
you. Whilst we crumble this sugar industry, you're going to see us building an airport. You may not be able to benefit from it. You may not be able to get any money because the fishing is down, sugar is down, rice is down.
Yeah.
You probably
Yeah.
would not be able to even fly from the airport that is being built there because you
Yeah.
can't afford to. But hey, we're putting it in your backyard anyway,
Yeah.
so
The
that's
Carol. The Carol.
completely different.
They're different, and
They're
to prove
different.
to prove they're different, this morning, look at this. You know, you remember they had put a mark this area for one of the friends to have a shore base. Well, the project has stalled. They had mowed down all of the mangrove, and all the mangrove, you know, like nature has come back.
Yes.
Right? They mowed down all this mangrove. These same people who talk about environmental stewardship and all that out of the side of their mouth and champion of the dirt and champion of corruption and champion of sue and all of that. Same folks.
You just
Right?
said champion of soup.
Right? And before the mangroves, before the shore base get off the ground, the mangroves come back. So that project has stalled. And this is how it looked when they had mowed down. But that's how the area looked first. It's not fully, the mangrove has not fully reclaimed the area as yet. But when they mowed it down, that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Right? Man, and the mangrove is not here just by choice, you know. That's my chance.
Remind the people how
Right.
the mangrove came here because that is a point that has to be made.
Right?
The PPP used taxpayers' dollars to plant mangroves.
Yeah, and they come and we love and say, look, listen to me. Jack, you said business cannot be held hostage by environmental stewardship. Money government, The mow down the mangrove.
I lost count of the amount of billboards were up to defend
Mowed
the
down,
planting of the mangrove, and I
mow down
don't
the
think that's
mangrove.
something that was even on dispute because everybody wants, wants what when it comes to the environmental protection and all those things. Everybody wants us to go in the direction of protecting the
Yeah,
environment and all of those things. So it's
yeah.
something that we
Mow
all
down the
supported.
mangrove. The mow down the mangrove.
Them boys
And
come
like the
back.
app, no AFC, the mangrove shall come back. We shall be back. The
I
mangrove.
love it. I love it.
The mangrove is good. It's good for you, protecting you from all kinds of dangers of the environment. But some folks don't know that. And that's how it went down. That's
You would
it.
be surprised to see them
Moving
boys go
on.
mow it down again.
Moving on quickly. And then you come back. Moving on quickly. Our chief scrutineer, Carl Joseph, over the weekend, said, they're being disgusting with this thing with GCOM. They send the names. It come back during the course of the election that these people were dead or out of the jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
Credit send it back seeming to think they get another outcome. Like something different is going to be said. Then they know what's going to happen. They're right now saying they want addresses of the people. Well, for the dead people, the rope and tear is the address. You can go and check them coffin. What else you want?
Like I don't even want to laugh
Right?
on this.
Well, Carol said, the chief scrutineer, Carl Joseph, said over the weekend that it's publicly available. GCOM, mind you, said they are the custodians of the national registers. They can get the addresses, but it'll be breaching security and confidentiality and all that. It's incredible. It's incredible. So that's one of the things brewing.
So
It's incredible.
When it comes to that particular matter, Sheriff, if I could just say, I think GCOM very disrespectful, and they need to stop wasting people's time. I think they need to stop the nonsense, for need of a better word, the BS. That they're coming with to even write and ask for that information for the level of a party is the most ridiculous thing that GCOM can find to do for themselves. I said before that GCOM is watering itself down to the point that it will not be respected by anyone. And this is what we're seeing happening. When you write a political party that asks for information and you have, that's the most ridiculous thing that you can find to do. And I don't have, if I can say, I don't have the patience for the nonsense that GCOM has decided, that road that they have decided to go down. I personally don't have the patience with you writing to ask about information that you have. Like, how is that even a political stunt for you? How is it even a PR stunt, not political PR? Let me just rephrase that. It gains you absolutely no political points. I don't see how GCOM is seeing this. How is it getting political points to say PR points? I'm saying political. It's political. Let me just not pretend. It is political points, It's absolutely ridiculous for the election commission, the Guyana Election Commission, to be asking for those information. That is crazy. It's crazy as you can think about it. And they need to stop the nonsense. They need to stop playing. They need to start getting serious. We have serious matters to look at. The election petition is going to be before the court of decision as to whether or not it moves forward. It's going to be on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we're going to be dealing with that at that level. Let the court deal with those things. Don't come with play right now. This is not a play. This is not a playground.
Yeah. And while you're on that, Rita, let's head into the big issue very quickly. You're from the hypocrite. According to the hypocrite, and I'll tell you why. He's a hypocrite and he's a hypocrite. I'm going to say it. Right? Hypocrite, fully dressed, nicely in a suit and so on. Get slim overnight, nice tummy tuck and gastro bypass and so on. Slim overnight, You didn't realize where you sign up for this place, Right?
I saw Irfan here.
Black today, silver fox tomorrow, You got to pick a struggle. But that being said, Irfan is a hypocrite. And I'll tell you why. Very serious issues. I'll tell you. Irfan is a hypocrite. Remember I said that, right? Irfan is a hypocrite. So some of the things we saw quite recently coming out of the regime is the fact that they're talking about a couple of things. You had the national Diwali light up over the weekend, and some news items revolved around that, right? And I'll tell you why again, Irfan is a hypocrite. Remember I said that. Now, here you had this Diwali light up. They're talking about the symbolism and peace and goodwill and all that to men, and darkness over light overcoming darkness and all that. They got a lot of darkness, they ain't overcoming a lot of darkness. Over the weekend as well, Irfan was talking about urging men to play a more active role in society. And some of the news media pick up the fact that they have announced this 1,000 Men program in which they are tackling problems facing boys and young men, especially trying to curb what I saw Demaris in particular says was to tackle violence. This 1,000 Man program, violence, right? And joblessness among youth. I mean the joblessness yet. We can leave the finale because we know the mess happening with the part-time jobs. Absolute mess, right? But let me take a pin at violence.
Yes, let us take a pin there.
Let me take a pin there. Because last week, a PPP activist, Ozzy, what's his name? Ozzy something.
I can't remember. I'm not good with names, Sharon.
Whatever his name is, that's important. Beat up a woman in a supermarket in Bad Settlement. Irfan has said nothing about that, but this hypocrite come out to talk about men and violence. And you got violence against women right in your party. And he said not a word.
I think that if you want to hear from me as a
Right.
woman,
See, what is the fella name?
I can't remember.
Right.
I think the fans are gonna.
But he's a hypocrite.
faster than me.
Because this fella,
Marilyn King, there for you.
Ozzy Rogers, thanks. You see, he's so insignificant. Over the weekend, let me tell you what happened. The fly out, he was arrested and released on self-bail. You see this law we got in this country?
It's a catch and release law.
Is a catch and release. For some, oh my, lie hit a woman, Sherrod Duncan. You understand me?
They would have sentenced you already.
Right?
By
I
Monday.
ain't hear about we can. Me hear from the women in the PPP yet, the women organization. I ain't hear Priya. I ain't hear Mark Phillips. That's all them. When
WPO.
I had just reposted a chant from workers, teachers,
Oh my
somebody put some music to it. Oh my God. Press statement left and right. A PPP activist beat up a woman, is caught on camera. You know what they did, Rita?
Tell me.
They fly him out over the weekend.
Fly him out.
Fly him out in New York over the weekend.
Wow.
And it's incredible. It's incredible because the fella was found home at a religious festival for Diwali in New York over the weekend. And some of his words are instructive. Folks, I want y'all to take a look at why Irfan them is hypocrites. Come out to talk about men and violence, and you can't mention Ozzy Rogers and what you party doing to sanction him. Irfan is a hypocrite. Here is some of what Ozzy said over the weekend, folks. As the PPP flew him out to this event in New York. Take a listen to some of what Ozzy Rogers had to say. You know, it is so ludicrous that these guys want to pretend that they are some moral compass. Some moral compass. Take a listen. Take a look. Do we have it there?
I noticed yet.
We're going to try to get it. Hypocrites. Can't put it any better. Hypocrites. All right. This is preventing us. I don't know why. They don't want us to be great this morning. Right? Trying to get some of that for you.
But you know, Sharon, if I can say,
Jump right in, Trida.
you know, as a woman, as a Guyanese,
Save us.
as a Guyanese woman, I think that I haven't seen any worse display when it comes to protecting men that defiles women physically, mentally, emotionally, more than the PPP. And I say this based on my own experience at the level of the National Assembly. I know prior to the PPP taking office in 2020, that I heard prior to 2015 there was a lot of cases and a lot of reports about representatives, you know, at the highest level of that particular administration actually going out there and just saying doing the worst things when it comes to women. Yeah, I have I don't know, guys, I don't know how you see it, but I have a principle that I think that should be upheld. And you don't take up certain positions if you can't live a life that demonstrates leadership, that you can't be doing things like that. It's absolutely crazy.
Let's see if we have it, Rita. I think we do. Let's see if we have it.
Sure. Well, thank you very much for having me on, Roshan. And of course, seeing all these people coming out here to celebrate Diwali, people from all culture,
Yes.
people from all religion, all races coming out here to celebrate Diwali. It's what we used to do in, I mean, it's what we do in Guyana, but we were able to transform and bring that here. So
Yes.
it's
And
absolutely amazing.
OC, you're so right. In Guyana, we would have never have this kind of a cultural unity like
Right.
we do in Little Guyana, because we have people from east and west,
Right.
north and south, all
Correct.
coming together.
Of course, and it's a wonderful thing when our people come together to celebrate all our
Yes.
holidays and all our cultures and customs. It's always a wonderful thing, and seeing all these people coming out here to celebrate Diwali, that is an amazing thing. And I want to say happy Diwali to everybody that is watching us. Of course, you guys know the significance of Diwali, the festival of lights. It's associated with Lakshmi, right?
That's
The,
right.
the the goddess of prosperity and happiness.
That's
So
right.
whatever darkness might be consuming your life at this time, and trust me, whatever darkness might be consuming your life at this time, let this Diwali season light
That's
up your
right.
life and put light over darkness. And yeah, I'm
And
just
I
happy to be
gotta
here.
tell you, you're rocking that kurta really nice. You're looking very nice with that kurta. And like OC so wonderfully said, Diwali is the celebration of good over evil,
Of course.
light over darkness.
Yes,
And
yes.
this is what it's all about. And we call it Light Up Liberty or Light Up Little Guyana. So,
Absolutely.
on stage, we just saw
Yep,
Dilson
yep, yep.
just
So that
approach.
that was over the weekend. So you could beat up a woman on Friday and be on a PvP stage on Saturday, and the president could be talking about stemming violence against women on Sunday. Like if nothing's happening, there isn't a big elephant in the room. Hypocrites,
Mm. I think
hypocrites. Threw him out very quietly, very quietly. There is no wanted bulletin for him. Right? But Rickford Burke said a couple things, right, on social media, telling the states and wanted bulletin issue for him. But a man could beat up a woman in bad settlement. This caught on video, you know. You know what I also saw over the weekend? You all remember the Dalrymple who bit the policeman? Oh, she had a birthday party over the weekend, man. Some barracks stopped in. What lovely signals we're sending to this society that we live in, right? The very weekend, the president talking about violence and men, right? And the way men treat women. It's hypocritical when you can't even deal with that among your own party supporters and activists. And tomorrow you could see Rogers interviewing Irfan like nothing has happened.
we have I'm going to put it over as calmly as I possibly can, because like these matters, these particular matters, it can really bring out a lot of anger in people, to particularly women. I have to say, we have an issue in Guyana, and we often refer to it as the other pandemic.
Yes.
When it
Yeah.
comes to gender-based violence and violence against women, particularly. And
Mhm.
the PPE administration is the worst administration to govern a country, because they cannot even attempt to address these issues. The leadership of the PPP administration, several persons in their leadership are engaged in such activities. And that's just the blatant truth about the matter. We need to take violence against women very seriously. And it is not okay for the PPP administration at any point in time to have a representative, their representative, a representative, someone that goes out and speaks on their behalf, to assault a woman and then be seen as though nothing went wrong. But I want to remind persons also that we had a situation in which was it the REO in Region 9?
Mm-hmm.
We had that situation.
Mm-hmm.
A young lady was
Yeah.
shot
Yeah.
in her
Yeah.
stomach, and then that REO is still
Yeah. You
functioning.
got Darmlad in
Performing
National
duties.
Assembly. You
We
got
had the
Kwame in National
comment.
Assembly. All of that.
We have the comment from
Dildo.
Darblal
Yeah.
when it comes to you need a dildo.
Yeah.
There's no other country. Let me tell you, there's no other country. No
Yeah.
country that professes
Yeah.
democracy,
Yeah.
good governance, transparency, accountability, and all of it. Nowhere else that would be seen as acceptable. In any other country, especially a country that is saying that it's projecting itself to be fastest growing economy, projecting yourself to be the one with the breadbasket of the Caribbean, you want to put yourself on this at the helm of development when it comes to the Caribbean and all of this thing. You want to be going in that direction. There's nowhere in which that would be accepted. Absolutely nowhere. But we have to be left with that. We have to be left with the Kwame McCoy issue
Of this
in
world.
the level of the National Assembly. Nothing
Yeah.
done. What was done? He was moved from one seat and put in the next seat.
Yeah.
That's the level of punishment that was meted
Yeah.
out to him. We are in a country, and it is slowly deteriorating to the fact into a state in which women will be completely disrespected because the administration projects disrespect to women, and they project it as something that is acceptable under their stewardship, and it's a very, very serious issue. We see when it comes to violence against women and crimes against women, we see endless women losing their lives, and we wonder why. Why is it that at the level of the police station, these organizations where these things should be kept in check, systems should be put in place? Why is it not happening? And then you see that. And that basically answers all your question as to why it is going on. Because
Vindhya Prasad saw
they
that.
are protected.
Vindhya Prasad saw that. Priya managed and said nothing. This is Ministry of Social Protection and Human Services and Social Protection. She said absolutely nothing. They're going to light theirs.
Prime Minister
and we got darkness
statement
in Ozzy Rogers to overcome. We can't overcome it. Yes.
Prime Minister wrote statements about you.
Vindhya Prasad as well. Priya
Vindhya
Manichan as well.
about you.
Gail Teixeira as well.
And then he's parading himself.
Folks, you have to understand. I ain't saying a word of ill about Priya. Teachers in the course of protesting chanted some words. Somebody added music to it, and it was reposted on my Facebook page. The women's arm of the PPP spoke out against it. Reverend Pat Sheraton spoke out against it. Some organization called We Can spoke out against it. Priya, Gail, Vindhya spoke out against it, and also the Prime Minister. None of them has lifted a word or a pen against Ozzy Rogers, who was allowed, even though that young woman, according to reports we've seen, filed a police complaint, fly out quietly, and he gone as part of a Diwali concert there in Queens, and talking about light overcoming darkness. And even talking about violence against women.
People bastardized fast lines.
Right?
We
allow it. That's the problem. We allow it. And that's why we say Afan is a hypocrite. You allow Kwame to happen. Said not a word when Kwame assaulted what's in it? Tabitha Saraba Haley, the National Assembly. Every organization spoke out against Dharmlal, but the PPP. And what he said in the National Assembly was reprehensible. I was suspended for 4 sittings for what he said. I was suspended. Right? And now caught on camera yet again. The young woman who bit the policeman. Jack just stopped in at her birthday celebration over the weekend. Because that is acceptable behavior. And the young man, he fly out. Not a word from the PP. Caught on camera, beating up a young lady. Sorry, we don't have it queued up. Punching her in a supermarket in Bad Settlement. And now you won't come and lecture us about violence against women. Right? You haven't earned that right, sir. You haven't earned that right. You haven't earned that right. Haven't. Go ahead, Judy.
I think it's as bad as you can imagine it to be. But like Sharad said, we keep accepting a lot of things when it comes to the way in which the PP administration operates. They keep testing it. they keep throwing in little tests here and there, if they do this, and how do they react? Oh, the reaction isn't that bad, so let's go
Irfan
for
has
something
not
else.
earned the right to talk to us about violence against women. When you start reprimanding your party comrades, let it begin there. Let the change that you seek in the world begin in your house. Let it begin in the PPP. Show us that you mean business on that. Right? I'll see fly out. Gone scotch-free. Punch up that young woman in a supermarket. And I don't even care if she don't want press charges. It is absolutely wrong.
No, but Sher brought an important point to say you don't care if she don't want to press charges. That's an important point because let me tell you something. When it comes to women and violence, our laws need to get to a stage in which persons are prosecuted, whether or not the individual, the victim, that is going through a lot of psychological turmoil. Besides whether
not wanting to press charges does that negate the fact that crime was committed?
That's my point.
Quite the same like the PS who was caught in a sting operation taking a bribe.
Yeah, that's my point. If somebody, listen to me, if somebody shot you, right? This is something that I'm.
Yeah.
But it goes to the Region 9 issue again.
If I
the woman was shot. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's a crime.
The story is still waiting on the DPP for legal advice. It's still waiting. Still waiting.
I think we're in a.
I know. I see fly out. Imagine critics. Bardness said he will no longer have Aussie's program on his page.
Wow.
Right? Because his actions are reprehensible and the PPP, mainstream PPP, and say nothing. Can you imagine that?
Well, that's shocking.
Bardness said it is reprehensible and he shall no longer air his programs. But the PPP, you elevate it higher.
Yeah.
Right? No one from the PPP has said a word. And you all want to come and lecture us about morality? And send out Kwame to lecture us about what is appropriate music? Give us a break.
Kwame lecture.
Give us a break.
Kwame.
I would love to hear hits and jams on O.C. Rogers.
Kwame lecture people on what is appropriate and not. Kwame and appropriate in the same sentence.
And when they go to the US, O.C. Rogers will be opening doors for them and chairing programs.
Kwame could hate me
and then we're going to say how we love women.
You understand? Kwame could.
Give us a break.
I will never. You can mark I will never, ever cease to pull him up for the nonsense that he
Give us a break.
Behaves with, for the inappropriate comments that he makes. He is the most vulgar person in the National Assembly, particularly towards women. Particularly towards
vulgar and hypocrites.
And
Vulgarians and hypocrites.
He can be upset all he wants.
Vulgarians and hypocrites. And you talk about violent men, and you talk about O.C. Rogers and reprimand him. Right? He ain't waiting a child date somewhere for what he did to that young lady. What message we sending to our community?
There's another message that came out of that video that you played. I don't want to just also just wrap up.
Yes, go right ahead.
There's another message. You said like this unity, you can't see it in Guyana.
Nonsense. If it's one thing, one time we're unified, is religious occasion in this country. He went in a little while, perhaps. If it's one time, Pagua, you don't think we got a race problem here? It's after Pagua and before Pagua. But during Pagua, everybody throwing water and powder, right? During Diwali as well. Yeah. I was out there at the motorcade,
lighting up.
I was out there, not at the motorcade, at the concert they had over the weekend, right? Deep jail. I was out there. Nothing brings us together. So you talk about you won't see this kind of unity in Guyana. Nonsense, you don't know what we're talking about.
He doesn't know Guyana.
We got with challenges with race.
Motorcade when it comes to Diwali, that motorcade, it wasn't here because of COVID and all of those things. A lot of those events were suppressed because of that. But motorcade in Guyana, people from Georgetown, you know who living in Georgetown.
I don't plan on going motorcade already.
People from Georgetown take their entire families out lined up.
Oh, you'll never see this.
Seawall.
Okay, where people be pumping in these people's brains over there, man? Happy Monday.
Abusers can be protected.
Boils the blood. You come talking about violence and abuse, and you can't even talk to O.C. Rogers, O.C. Rogers, whatever the hell his name is. And you want to lecture people about morality.
1,000.
And you want to lecture men about how men must conduct themselves. And you, O.C. Rogers, right next to you. Kwame, right next to you. Damlel, right next to you. You can't change the content, the day character, and you want to come and lecture other people. You don't earn the right. Other people can do it. You don't earn the right. I don't talk.
You don't protect abusers. When you have an administration that protects abusers, you can't get any worse. That's how I put it.
I finished that.
You can't get any worse than that. To have an administration that openly protect
Their
abusers.
darkness overcoming the light. Daylight and overcoming the darkness. Their darkness overcoming the light.
Yeah. And
That's
you know,
the tragedy.
when it comes to those things, Sherrod, I don't know how people do it, but I can do it. Like when it comes to religion and the whole concept of God and higher being and all of that, I can't close my eyes and go to God with a matter in prayer, knowing that I don't believe it in my heart. Like I believe that there is a superior power that is vast and deep. When they speak, and the fact that they partake in activities, religious activities, and they say certain things, sometimes I wonder if they don't even believe in a concept of higher being.
I'll give you an aside. It is one of the reasons why when you read history, especially history about slavery, is one of the reasons the African slaves were very reluctant to accept Christianity. They couldn't fathom that me and the slave were not going to the same place.
Yeah.
I got to deal with you here. I got to deal with you, Seto. So when I see some of them talking about God and so on, I said, God, if you were alive up there, make it right. Make it right. Yeah. Because people who do the most.
Yeah. How do you go and talk about
in the words of our generation?
How do you go and talk about light
the emerging apartheid state? What you're doing to other people in this country? What you're doing? And I saw them in where recently. Saw them in the community in Berbice. It's right in the front of my mind. But I'm saying there, in Region 5, you know, how come Region 5, you're saying, oh, hold on, this is the day that the Lord has made. How come you don't see that in Region 5? Oh, you get $1 million, you get $1 million. And you know what? We've spoken to the bank, and they will give you $2 million as well. No collateral. And so, how come you don't see that there? You know,
light over darkness.
You know,
good over evil.
No, the darkness overcoming the light.
Yeah, I think like I respect religion a lot. So when it comes to particularly when it comes to Diwali, you know, we're in this time and all of that. Yeah. And the people that actually hold those things to be true and correct in their mind, you know, you really have to hold people accountable when you see that they're using your platform, they're using your stage, they're using your religion to push a message forward that they don't practice, and that's something
the most dangerous people.
It's very serious.
More dangerous people. Them who's come kill you, come and cry at your funeral and fight your family for ideology.
You know, as a Christian person, I have something that I say. There is no pastor that would come and I had this issue with the pastor before. I can say this here, you know. I had an issue with the pastor before in which he was saying one thing, but then I found him lacking when it comes to money. And he came and he said, you know, I missed church a couple of times, and he came and he asked why, you know, and I said, this is why I did not go. And he said,
he's a hypocrite.
He said, you don't look at the pastor.
Yeah, it's hard to miss if you're the one talking all the time.
You don't look at the pastor. You look to God for guidance. And I said, and this is something I would never forget it, because it was a very defining moment in my life. I said, there is no way at any point in time any leader could come and tell me, you just look to God and not look at their actions if you are not prepared to walk the straight and narrow and get the hell down from the pulpit. And that's the principle that you need to go. As a leader in the country, if you are not prepared to walk the straight and narrow and be that guiding light and be that example, then step the hell down, get the hell down. And if you don't do that, then the people need to stand up and unify their voices to get you down from there.
The issue of violence against women in this country, it's one reaching epic proportion. Not a day goes by. Right now, there are women who are being abused in this country.
There is something, Sherrod, you know, and even at the level, because,
let's go.
You know, I add this one last thing, and it's something that we probably need to look at doing, because there are various events. We spoke about it here, in which I think was Trinidad, that had the opportunity at the level of the UN, at the UN function, to actually display the clothing of women that lost their lives to violence, gender-based violence. If we do that in Guyana, we might be able to just line this region straight with clothing. But it's something that we need to do.
You think he'll register on them?
it has to register on somebody. It has
You think
to.
it'll register on these jacobats
I'm
and
not
trench
gonna.
rappers?
I'm gonna end my
No, no, I
comments
think not.
right where it is right
Folks,
now because
thanks for joining us.
it's gonna
Uh,
get. I'm
you
gonna get
know,
very
these
upset.
are the issues we're
Yeah.
contending with on Monday, the 17th day of October. They are real issues. They're real issues that have to be dealt with, and no photo op is going to solve that. No photo op is going to solve it. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you guys back here at 12. And then we have in the ring this evening as well. Share the live, smash that emoji button for us, and partner with us as well. We need your support and your love and your generosity to keep moving on. You have the last word, Charita.
Yeah. Guys. Have a good day. I'm just have a good day. I'll
Stay
see you
safe,
back
guys.
this minute.